All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're talking about Warriors Rockets. The game just wrapped up. The Warriors won game 4, 109-106 to take a 3-1 series lead over the Rockets. We're going to break down this game here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, getting closer and closer. Days go on. So all support on our channel. Be very much appreciated. Look to our Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we did actually have 2 games today, and technically I would talk about both, but that Cavs Heat game, I'm not even going to talk about that game because that was what it was. I mean, Cavs won, go Cavs. I'm a Cavs fan, so we swept them. We dominated, won by 55 points. Let's go. But we're not talking about that. Warriors, Rockets. This game I was really excited for, and it delivered. Another great game. The Warriors end up getting the W by 3, and now they lead 3-1. They're 1-1 away from advancing to the next round and taking out the 2-seeded Rockets. Jimmy Butler coming back for this game after missing game 3, but the Warriors still were able to win. They also made a lineup change, putting Buddy Hield in the starting lineup and taking out Moses Moody, which is interesting because I've liked the Moses Moody minutes so far, but I guess they're thinking putting Buddy Hield in the starting lineup because usually the Rockets' big man guard Moses Moody and allow Moses Moody to shoot. Now if they throw Buddy Hield in, who's an elite 3-point shooter, it would change things up a little bit, and I guess it did a little bit. And then the Warriors started the game off hot. I mean, the first 2, 3, 4 minutes of the game, it was all Warriors. I mean, forcing turnovers, getting out of transition, running, getting easy buckets, and I felt like the Warriors were just kind of steamrolling it a little bit. Then the Rockets finally got comfortable. The Rockets started locking in defensively. Fred VanVleet hit a couple shots early, and then Thompson started to get going early, and all of a sudden Dylan Brooks started to get going early, and it was like, okay, now here we go. Settled into the game. The Warriors just got sloppy. The Warriors have their times in this game where it's just, turnovers and bad possessions, and we saw that for the first half of this game. When it comes to late in the first quarter and to end the first half, where they had a pretty decent lead. The last like 3 minutes of the first half, we saw like 3 or 4 turnovers in a row that led to easy buckets for the Rockets, and eventually the Rockets were up like 7 at halftime. We also got a lot of scuffles and Draymond with a flagrant and technical foul and all these things going on. This has been a very physical series, probably the most physical series so far, and it's been a lot of techs and all that stuff, and that happened in the first half, whatever. But the Rockets, despite having Jalen Green with another tough performance and all that stuff in the first half, still holding on to this game, just trying to be pests to the Warriors. Like how Draymond Green usually is the Rockets. I feel the Rockets kind of flip that card on the Warriors, where they're being aggressive and, trying to get under their skin, getting under Steph Curry's skin, and that kind of rattled the Warriors a little bit, which is very rare to see a championship team and a team with this type of pedigree get rattled like that. But the Rockets did a good job of that. They went to halftime with a lead. Get to the third quarter, the Warriors start off the third quarter hot. Start hitting a couple of shots. Brandon Vajemski hitting some shots. Draymond Green got foul trouble early, but everybody else was kind of picking up the slack for him and Steph, not really. And Jimmy Butler also kind of walking through the first half of this game. And the Warriors came out. Great start to the third quarter, but the Rockets had a response. Steven Adams was huge in this game and turning the tide. And Alperen Sengun, once Draymond Green got his 5th foul, Alperen Sengun started feasting on whether it was Quinn Post, Trace Jackson Davis, Gary Payton was guarding him sometimes, no matter who it was. Give him the ball, he was working. Fred VanVleet hitting threes. First time we've seen that in the series. And then Thompson getting to the rim, getting baskets, playing some amazing defense. And it was a really close game late. I mean, back and forth, back and forth, back and forthness of the game was amazing, to see. I'm just looking at the last few minutes just to refresh my memory, even though it just happened. A lot of stuff happened in the last few minutes. But yeah, then they had the possession where, yeah, Draymond had the cutting layup after Fred VanVleet hit the 3. And then, yeah, Jimmy Butler had the cutting layup, Draymond with a nice pass. Then they came down the other end. Buddy Hield hit a huge 3-pointer. And then from then on, the Rockets couldn't really score that well in the last few minutes. I mean, Jimmy Butler finally got himself into this game. He was getting to the free throw line a lot, rebounding the ball. Draymond Green was fighting him for some nice cuts. And for the Rockets, just couldn't really get things going. The last 2 minutes were interesting, where Buddy Hield, for some reason, Warriors were by 3. Buddy Hield, for some reason, called his own number with like 7 on the shot clock, and he take like a turnaround fadeaway jumper on Sengun and Adams, and it was like, what are you doing? And it led to a Fred VanVleet 3-pointer, and it's just like, what the heck are you doing? Next possession, Dylan Brooks fouled Jimmy Butler on a 3-pointer, which was very tough. Jimmy hits all 3 free throws, come down, Sengun gets the easy 2. Last 2 possessions, the Warriors, Jimmy missed a turnaround jumper, they get the ball back, Steph misses. The Rockets get the ball. The Rockets put the ball in Alperen Sengun's hand. This is one of the things that we talk about the Rockets coming into this playoffs, where they don't have a superstar player. They don't have a 1A. That's like, all right, last 2 possessions, here you go. Here's the ball. Do your thing. They gave it to Sengun, and Sengun tried tried it on Draymond Green, and Draymond Green showing why he's one of the best defenders we've seen because he locked down Alperen Sengun. And then Butler hits 2 free throws. Fair VanVleet got actually a decent look at a 3. Couldn't go in. The Warriors ended up getting the W. Some big performances from a lot of different people. I mean, in a game where Steph Curry finished with 17 points and only took 13 shots, he took the third most shots on the team. It was only 2 for 8 from 3. He airballed a couple times in this game. Didn't really make a big impact. But Jimmy Butler, showing why he's here, where he kind of walked through, I feel like, the first 2.5-ish quarters. But once it calmed down to those fast few possessions, Jimmy Butler did his thing. 27, 5, and 6, 12 for 12 from the free throw line. He had a 3-pointer in this game as well, getting to the basket and just using his toughness. I mean, he had a layup late where he literally went right up on Jabari Smith Jr., took the contact, and laid it in. It was a tough finish. And Jimmy doing his thing. And Brandon Podziemski was awesome in this game as well, where, again, Steph didn't really give you much. The bench wasn't really providing too many things. But Brandon Podziemski was there. He had 6 3-pointers, 26, 5, and 5, solid defensively. I felt like when the Warriors needed something, they would go to Brandon Podziemski, and Brandon Podziemski hit some huge 3-pointers and was just being aggressive out there, and that's just huge to get that type of production. Buddy gave you 3 threes at 15 points. He was solid. And then Draymond, did have the 5 fouls or whatever. He hit 2 threes, the first 2 threes of the game, didn't score after that. But the defense and of effort, especially in the last few minutes, was amazing. I mean, the Warriors, that's how they kind of won these games. The game 1, and game 3, and game 4, the 3 games they've won, I feel like they have locked in defensively in the last few possessions. Game 1, defensive masterclass in the fourth quarter. Game 3, they did that as well, where they locked in defensively. This game, they did the same thing, where Draymond Green helped them. They locked in defensively in the last few possessions of the game, didn't let the Rockets get anything easy, and they ended up getting the win. That's been huge for what the Warriors have done. And when they can really lock in defensively, they can do their thing, And for the Rockets, just this is a tough loss. I mean, when you get Alperen Sengun give you 31, 10, and 5 doing the things he did, Fred VanVleet hit more threes in this game than he did in the first 3 games combined. Fred VanVleet was awesome. 8 threes, 25 points. I mean, Thompson gave you 17. He got some good minutes from Steven Adams, had 5 offensive rebounds and 4 blocks. He was a monster down there defensively. But shout out to the Warriors because they did the hack of Adams and didn't even let them get to the free throw line because Ime Udoka made the decision, we're going to take out Steven Adams. We're not going to let the free throw shooting hurt us more. We're going to put Jabari Smith Jr. in. Jabari Smith Jr. wasn't a great time in the last few possessions. But, I mean, good game for the Rockets. Jalen Green. Only played 24 minutes, played the third least amount of minutes. Steven Adams played more minutes than Jalen Green in this game. 3 for 8, 1 for 5 from 3, 1 for 3 from the free throw line, 8 points, 5 turnovers. Another bad game. And it's tough. Jalen Green has looked at some points unplayable. And in the second half, when Jalen Green was missing, I was like, I wouldn't be too mad for Ime Udoka if he just doesn't play him the rest of the game. And he didn't play a lot. Let me see. I can't go quarter by quarter yet because the game just ended. But I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play within a minute or 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Did he play? I think he played in the fourth quarter like a minute or 2. But I don't remember much because it's been tough. I mean, he had that one game too where he popped off. But besides that, he hasn't really done anything in this series. And it's tough that your leading scorer, one of your key important pieces, just has scored less than can't get to double digits. Game 1 he had 8, game 3 he had 9. This game he had 8. So he's had combined 25 points, where he had 38 in game 2 by himself. The other 3 games he's had 25 combined. And it's been bad for Jalen Green. He looks dang near unplayable at times. And the bigger lineups work. When Steven Adams lineups out there work, Steven Adams was a plus 16. Steven Adams was giving you some amazing minutes, both on the rebounds and defensively. Jabari Smith Jr. I've said I've loved the Jabari Smith Jr. minutes in this series. I think Jabari Smith needs more minutes in this series because I feel like I just love his defensive versatility, his ability to knock down threes, and he doesn't mind getting in there on the rebounding aspect. Tari Eason, he's at least being aggressive and giving you something defensively. Jalen Green, we know Jalen Green is a guy that if he's not scoring, he's not doing much else besides getting a bucket. And when he can't get a bucket, it's tough to leave him out on the court. And Ime Udoka has shown since becoming the coach that he's not afraid to put Jalen Green on the bench. And unfortunately, he's had to do that a lot more than he'd like to in this series because he just has not been able to find a rhythm in this one. And it really sucks, again, when you have an important piece, your guy that's been your leading scorer for the regular season, just not be able to play in the playoffs. It's really tough. That's already putting you at a disadvantage. When you already had a disadvantage with the shooting difference and the lack of superstar and the kind of offensive clunkiness you have and all that stuff, it's tough. It's really tough. But I mean, it's a tough loss for the Rockets. I mean, The free throws are the big glaring hole. They shot 61% for the free throw. They missed 12 free throws in this game. You're not going to win a playoff game when you miss double-digit free throws. You're just not. Everybody besides Fred VanVleet missed a free throw. Fred VanVleet only got one. Amen Thomas was 3 for 5. Dylan Brooks 2 for 4. Şengün 7 for 10. Jalen Green 1 for 3. Steven Adams 1 for 2. Tari Eason 3 for 4. Jabari Smith 1 for 2. You're not going to win games like that when you miss 12 free throws, man. You're not. Especially when the Warriors side, they only missed 2. Jimmy Butler went 12 for 12. Like, you're just not going to win games like that. They dominated the rebounding battle again, but they lost the assist battle and lost the turnover battle. 13 turnovers to only 8 by Golden State. And 4 of those were Steph. You know, so like the Rockets just couldn't force turnovers enough. But most of the turnovers came in like the first half and that late end of the second quarter. You know, for the Rockets, you had 13, 5 of them for Jalen Green. Like it's really tough. And the Rockets right now they're just outmatched right now with respect to the fourth quarter. I mean, they can keep games close. All their 3 losses have been close losses. But when it comes down, and a reason why I picked the Warriors to win this series is because when it comes down to the last 5 minutes of a game, I trust the Warriors 5 times more than I trust the Rockets. The Warriors have closers. The Warriors have been in this situation before. The Warriors just have more things I can rely on than what Houston has. And so far, they're showing it in this series. Game 1, the Warriors had a big lead. The Rockets came back, and the Warriors, Jimmy and Steph, closed it out. Game 3, the Rockets were kind of cruising. Steph had a big second half. Steph erupted. The Warriors closed it out, and they were with their defense as well. This game, it was a close game, kind of a back and forth battle in this one. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and their defense closed this game out. And the Rockets just couldn't get anything easy in this one. And that's really what it is. I mean, the Warriors are just look like the better team right now. They're the team that's executing better. They're the team that is, I don't want to say making the winning plays, because the Rockets make winning plays too. But they're just the team that just looks better in the clutch. They're the team that is outperforming in the clutch. They're the team that are executing better in the last few possessions than what the Rockets are doing. That's just what it is. I mean, you could get help from Brandon Podziemski and from Jimmy Butler, from Buddy Hield, from Draymond defensively. Quinn Post had a decent game as well. Like, when you get that type of help, it's just huge. You know, and the Warriors are just doing what they do. They win in the playoffs. And the Rockets, it's really tough. Obviously, this is a lot of their guys' first experience, so it's not like a super crazy thing to say when the Rockets are, you know, most of these guys, besides VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and Steven Adams, all the rest of these 5 guys playing have never even touched a playoff court before. So it's really hard to tell them to be able to win in the playoffs and, you know, teach on the fly what to do and learn in the playoffs. Obviously, the only way they can go through it, or the only way they're going to learn is by going through it, and they're doing that right now. But, I mean, it's just tough to lose. Obviously, it's tough to lose in the playoffs, especially when you're a higher seed, a 2 seed going up against a 7 seed where you think you're better than them. It's really tough, especially when it's not like blowout losses. It's like you're getting to the like gritty toughness of the game in the last 5 minutes and you just can't close it out. It's really, really tough. But they'll learn. They're going through it. But the Warriors just are playing better right now. The Warriors are playing better. They're playing really good basketball. And yeah, they're up 3-1. 1 win away from closing it out. We see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be a video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Stick around here for all of your playoff basketball. I probably won't upload a video tomorrow night after the games because I got something to do Wednesday, but we'll talk about some of the things on Wednesday. There'll be a video on Wednesday. It'll probably be later than usual, but there'll be a video later. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so all support on our channel will be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.